Alright, today we're going to have an off-the-cuff video where I just talk about the changes to CI Spark Trickster going to 3.21. And while I don't recommend going Spark Trickster, especially if you're a new player, I'll still give my input and some advice. And if you are playing Spark Trickster, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, because I may be missing some stuff as well. As for how this build has been changed between last patch and this patch, a lot of our masteries are different, so I'm going to have an updated POB in the description, which has all the new masteries. A ton of them are changing, but the noteworthy one that we're losing is the Lightning Mastery for non-critical strikes dealing lucky damage. This was, in my opinion, the cornerstone of the whole build, so it's really painful to lose that. Thankfully, we've redone the leveling trees, and we've gained an equally powerful mastery. Fortunately, it's a little far away. It is on the Elemental Mastery wheel, and it gives us 25% chance to invert enemy monster resistances. This is huge for our boss damage, so this is going to make up the damage. Unfortunately, in the past, the build was a little bit more beginner-friendly because we were getting the damage early on. We were getting it before Lab 1. Now we're getting it towards the end of the campaign, right before Lab 2. That's going to be hard if you're a new player. The changes in the tree are not the only reason why this is going to be hard for new players. So let's go over the gearing. The budget tree has quite a few uniques. In fact, I originally had a Ghost Ride as my recommendation. The thing with Ghost Rise is you kind of have to have 100 or 75% Chaos Res for this to work. The problem with having a lot of uniques is there's a lot of gear pressure on your rares because you have fewer of them, which means you're going to have to get a lot more resistance on the ones you do have. That's obviously going to be really hard on a Leaguestart where there's just not very many well-crafted items. Now I'm going to suggest crafting a Sadist Garb. You're going to want to craft it with dense fossils. Try and get some decent ES on it. The advantage of this is, well, we make better use of the new masteries, and we also are able to get some suffixes for resistance on the body armor. One thing that should be noted is there is a new change to the Esh Amulet, Voice of the Storm. This now gives us lightning damage with non-critical strikes as lucky. So if we equip this, our damage goes through the roof because we're getting that mastery back. Some people may think, oh, the build's fine because we have this. However, as you can see, we're adding another unique in. Also, we're assuming we can even get this on a Leaguestart. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. So with all this in mind, feel free to grab the POB in the description. You can browse through it. I'm not going to promise this is the most optimized way to level now because I haven't had time to try it out myself, but you can use it as a reference point. Now, I would suggest the only people who attempt a CI Spark Trickster Leaguestart are veteran players anyways, so you can probably, pick and choose stuff from here. Probably have your own POB as well. Now, let's talk about late game, because this tree still has the same end game, which is non-crit. Well, I've fixed up the passives, but it's generally speaking the same thing. I would now suggest you probably want to go a crit-based Trickster. I have a friend who played crit-based Trickster last league. I'm going to put his POB in the description. I'll also link to his YouTube channel. It's just going to feel better. There's advantages of going crit anyways. Like crit your ailments are going to proc much stronger and much more frequently. You're going to have more damage. This isn't something you can fit on a Leaguestart. We're just too squeezed for fitting everything else in. But here, we'll open up the crit version just so you guys can have a peek at it. So as you can see, we have a hit damage of 20 mil. Now this is obviously really crazy gear, and actually this ring doesn't exist anymore. But this ring isn't changing that hit anyways. I'll put this in the description just to give you guys some ideas of how to progress into the late game, but this does not help your Leaguestart at all. I don't think you can get any of this from a Leaguestart perspective. Yeah, if you're a new player and you want to play Spark, good news is Spark is still extremely strong. I would recommend going with my Inquisitor build. All the issues that we talk about for Trickster are not going to be issues for Inquisitor. Inquisitor has a ton of damage. It does not need any special items. Very easy to have a well-balanced character. So, silver lining there, Spark is still very strong, but for the few people who are advanced players and they want to play the CI variant on Trickster, take what you can from this POB and let me know how your league goes. I wish you the best of luck.